you have multi-country experience.
Yes, cross-cultural, yes.
But you haven't been yet to Nepal. I would love to welcome you after this.
Oh God, this would be a dream come true of my wife and myself as well. We made it to Asia, to Singapore, to Thailand, and then back, and then moved to Russia. So we're moving slightly eastwards, you know, bit by bit. But Kathmandu, my first hiking experience I did in Argentina, in El Chalten, where I got lost on my own.
Oh.
That was fantastic. And then I imagined myself how it would be in Kathmandu probably as well. So somehow I have this on my list.
You should definitely come to Nepal. You will just love visiting here and doing some exotic trekking trips.
Yes. I think you have a brand which was created. I think I stumbled upon that in Nepalese brand jackets. I don't remember. I was looking
we
for
do
some
have we do have a couple of brands here.
Oh, a couple, yeah. I thought there was one local who had I forgot the name. I bought actually this jacket to make sure I every time wear this with me to have my next mountain goal. So yeah, I need to look it up because now it's hidden in my closet somewhere. Being in St. Petersburg and not having it every day.
So after this quarantine and lockdown situation, you should think about more coming to nature.
Yes, believe me, we're thinking about it every day. And the quarantine we're still on quarantine, but right now the weather is getting a little bit better. So I had my first run 2 to 3 days ago. I mean, people are getting crazy to go out, especially in Russia when you've got very long winters, right?
Yes. I agree. Since you also run, you love adventure, then you should think about Nepal.
No, this is definitely on the list. This is something. It must be happening. It's not the bucket list, not that far away, but it's definitely going to happen. Yeah.
So you are determined.
Which club are you in? Sorry.
I'm in Nepal.
Yeah, which club?
I'm in Tourism Toastmasters Club.
Okay.
Actually, I'm a Toastmaster in Nepal, and I'm also an adventure and cultural tour operator here in Nepal. And I have been running Rajbala treks and expedition since last more than 20 years. It's been a long time, very, very long time.
So what should we do in Kathmandu? Should we climb Mount Everest or what? Like what should we do in Kathmandu?
Climbing Mount Everest is more technical thing. For that, you need to have some extensive training. But apart from that, we do have many beautiful trekking trips that you can do in Nepal. So at the moment, we do have only one international airport that is in Kathmandu. You arrive here in Kathmandu, and you spend 1 or 2 days in Kathmandu. Then we send you to the beautiful mountains for encountering more with the mountains, nature, unique lifestyle of people there. That is more exotic, being in mountain rather than being in city. And
so there'll be Sherpas, right? There'll be Sherpas to guide us, right, for the trekking trip. Sherpas, like those guide Sherpas, the trekking guides.
Yes. Sherpas. They are Sherpas. Sherpas are the people from the mountain, especially from the Everest area. They are our guides, but apart from Sherpas, we do have local guides in each of the trekking area because we are committed to provide employment to the local people. So in Everest, you have Sherpas. Sherpas are the local people who live in Everest area. And then we have guides like Sherpas for Annapurnas in each area because we have many trekking areas, trekking regions like Everest, Annapurna, Langtang, Mustang, Manasalu. We have so many.
Geeta, that is the name of the brand, Sherpa.
Yes, we do have that, and that's more popular. Yeah, we do have an outlet here in Kathmandu, which is not very far from my home too.
Nice, very nice.
Where did you buy that jacket?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if a friend gave it to me or something. I probably, but definitely in Germany.
Oh, you got it in Germany.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe someone brought it. Maybe someone brought it from.
Wo in Deutschland.
Okay.
Wo in Deutschland? In Berlin.
Yeah, ich spreche Deutsch. Oh, Berlin.
In Berlin,
Also,
yeah.
Okay. I was in Munich for 1 semester of university studies. Yeah, so I kind of miss Germany. I was in Munich, München.
Yes, you've been to Munich. That's great. Now you can visit Germany as well.
It's very different, no? Like Bayern is very different from other parts of Germany.
Yeah, this is the internal joke because they're very special. I mean, I think every country has that. It's like, I don't know, London's probably not UK or something.
Can you elaborate a little bit? How special are they? Like,
they're very special. They're very special.
They have their own beer gardens. So Munich is famous for their Oktoberfest. Like every September, late September, people come to Munich from all around Germany just to drink beer. And they have their own beer gardens. So Germans go to Munich just to see the beer gardens because only that south state in Germany has beer gardens in the whole of Germany. So it's quite special. And I think it's the biggest province in the whole Germany. Like Bavaria is the biggest province in Germany. So it's quite unique in that sense.
Well, but it's also from an administrative perspective, they never consider themselves as being German because they have their own federal rights. It's always CDU party and the Bavarian party.
Oh, really?
Yes. That's why if you look up the CDU, there's always a dash CSU. And the CSU is the local Bavarian government. So they never fully integrate into the 16 states of Germany. That's what makes them stand out every time. You'd every time have a vote
what's the reason for that?
I lived in Belgium for 12 years, so I'm well used to the linguistic argument between the French and the Dutch.
There we go.
The 300,000 Germans, which nobody ever seems to mention, and the political wranglings and the different the linguistic variations of the two parties, and that you can't, what happens when the Flemish have the financial might of the country, and yet you end up with a French socialist in charge, even though they're a very right-wing country. I mean, it's absolutely crazy.
Sounds like fun.
The English to solve the linguistic problem. But...
Sounds like fun finding a common route to go.
Yeah. But now in Brussels, if you don't speak Dutch, it affects your job prospects, which is what I was telling them 30 years ago. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the small ones.
Yeah.
You always need to.
I've got a friend in Brussels who hasn't learned Dutch, and she's being laid off on the 1st of July. And she said, "Oh, my Dutch isn't very good." I said, "Well, I started learning the language before I even moved to Belgium because it's important."
Now, Nasa, can you hear me? Ah, yes, you can hear me. No, we don't have one yet. I'm going to ask if a little bit more people come around to be nominated for one.
All right, so can we assign somebody from the visiting Toastmasters if anyone is here?
I hear you. Hold on, I'll need to make you a little bit louder. Okay. All right.
Can we assign somebody out of visiting Toastmasters?
Yes, that's what I need to do. Yeah, yeah.
All right, sure.
Just waiting for a little bit more people to come in, but maybe we can just ask, does any one of you want to have the timer roll for today? Because this is what we need, another timer roll just to make sure or make the people. Asim, is that correct?
Yep, I'm happy to volunteer, yep.
Yeah, cool. Do you know the rules or do you need a slight introduction into this position?
I've done it before,
okay.
But if we have an agenda, that would be useful.
Yes, we will place the agenda into the chat. When you scroll up a little bit,
there we go. Yeah.
You'll find a link or a PDF, depends on when you logged in, and then you can download it. Randall is so kind to yes, it just arrived. It's a PDF, and you'll have the times over there. Whatever is easiest for you. We had, I think, one Italian guy. I love the pragmatic solution. He had some yellow and green screenshots on his mobile phone, and what he was doing is just put it into his camera, and then everyone could see it. Maybe this is something you want to go for.
You can download the backgrounds on TMI.
Download the back. Yeah.
I do have the backgrounds. I'm just going to see if they work.
They work well for some people.
Oh my God, that's
yeah,
perfect.
we can see that crystal clear.
Okay.
Yes, okay, you're very good into technology. Oh, perfect.
Brilliant. Okay.
Brilliant. Yeah, perfect.
For
Azim,
anybody
correct? Where
who's
is
in
that?
Region 10, I'm giving a presentation next Saturday on setting up your online appearance.
Oh.
Which one's Region 10, Antonia?
What's Region 10? We're in Region 10.
Oh,
Region
I'm sorry.
10 is continental Europe and
Okay.
the UK, including the UK and Ireland. We always have to
Right.
add that because the UK and Ireland don't think they're in Region 10 for some reason. So it's for anybody in Region 10. It's set up by the European Trainers Network. It's being advertised all over Facebook. And it's 4 of us are giving presentations to do with being online.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to have details of that.
Saturday morning. And there's only 300 places and it's filling up fast.
Right.
All right, should we start?
Yes, I think we should just start making sure that we're on time. Is that actually the general evaluator? Yeah, general evaluator is here. So then we need to kick it off. Okay. We have this and this and this and this. Okay, Azim is all set up. Perfect. Okay. Ms. President, may I hand over to you?
Absolutely. So, fellow Toastmasters, dear visiting Toastmasters, and distinguished guests, I'm glad to welcome you to our 115th meeting. My name is Anastasia, and I'm the president of St. Petersburg Speechmakers Club, which is a part of the Toastmasters International Organization. We meet twice a month in order to improve our speaking skills as well as the leadership skills and help our fellow members to develop their skills. And if you may say or think that education is boring, that is absolutely not true. Our club is a community where we meet twice a month, not only for development of any skills or for boring meetings. We are here to spend a nice and lovely time together. And I'm pretty sure that all of you will enjoy it and will agree with me by the end of this meeting. So let me call this meeting to order and welcome very experienced and creative member of our club, who is the Toastmaster of the day, Walter. Walter, please welcome on the stage.
Right, everybody. Hello once again to everyone who I've had not the chance yet to greet. A very warm welcome from sunny St. Petersburg in Russia to Kathmandu, to Singapore, to Moscow, or wherever you guys are coming from. I herewith welcome you to our 115th Toastmaster meeting in St. Petersburg. Now, to kick it off, I'm going to give you a brief introduction of today's program. For everyone who just joined, you can find the agenda within the chat. I think by now the majority of the people had the chance to do so. If not, Randall is going to post it upon your request. Just write or type in the chat that you need it, and we'll always have the link which will guide you to the agenda. However, for now, I'm going to upload the agenda and give you a brief insight of what we're doing today. Can you see it? Yes, thank you very much. My screen slightly disappeared. We're going to kick off the standard procedure as we're used to it with our introduction of the evaluation team. I'm going to do it right now. We will have 3 speakers today, which are going to be Sergey Semyonov, Irina Nosova, and Geeta Sharma. They all are on board, which makes me very happy. Some of the topics we have already here. Some of them are very surprised to know what it's going to be about. This is going to be the first part, which we will then finish by a small little break after we've done some voting for the best speakers, and we carry on the second part with the table topics, which are going to be presented by Alyona Kim today. After the table topics, we're going to head straight into the evaluations, which are going to be handed out through the evaluators team led by Alexander Chernov. And we finish it off by the Quizmaster, who's going to ask us some questions. And the Quizmaster, what you cannot see here for whatever reason, is Irina Nosova. Can I have a confirmation, Irina, that this is still the case? Yeah, cool. All right. And she's going to ask us, for those of you who are not familiar with the role, the Quizmaster will pick up some insights and answers and topics and ask them at the very end to see how much attendance we brought to this meeting. This should be it for now. I'm going to stop sharing so that you can see me much better right now. The introduction of the evaluations team for today is going to be kicked off by, let's do the A counter. What are you going to do for us, Valeria, for today?
Hello, everyone. Today I'm a counter. I'm already using precious words as and all of them together as the best member for a counter. I'm using today this role again. So I'm looking forward for your filler words and I will count all of them. And after meeting will finish, I will show you the report, how many are, or, and like you used in this meeting. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Valeria. We're gonna look out for not using those, and I'm gonna hand over to the timer of today, who is the fabulous Azim. Azim, can I ask you please to share some words on what you're gonna do for us today?
Thank you. Yes, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests, I will be your timekeeper. And that means providing visual signals to our speakers and role players to help them keep to time. So on the agenda, all the roles will have a minimum, maximum time, and usually a midpoint. So I will be signaling at the minimum allotted time a green background. I'll change that to an amber background, and then finally a red background when speakers have reached their maximum allotted time. We have 3 speeches today, all between 5 and 7 minutes, and I believe the table topics are between 1 and 2 minutes, and I'll report back later. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Azim. One question, where are you from?
I'm from Croydon Communicators in South London.
In South London, oh, right, okay.
Okay,
fantastic. Yeah. Thank you. It's just so curious. I can't wait to ask the people. Thank you very much, Mr. Timer. We're heading to the Quizmaster. Irina, may I ask you just to briefly explain once again your role for all the people who are not familiar with it?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. My role is very simple. I am to listen to all of you guys very closely and mark jot down some of the things that I will later at the end of the meeting will ask you. So this is how we usually do it. With the microphones muted, I ask you to type in the chat. So I pronounce the question and then you type the answer in the chat, and whoever is the first or the most active is the winner. Winners don't get anything, unfortunately, here. No award or no certificate, but it's just, you know, for the sake of competition. Right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Irina, for the nice explanation. Yes, dear ladies and gentlemen, please use the chat for your answers. We have the general evaluator as well. I'm not sure if he is available for a few sentences. I think...
I'm pretty sure he is.
Ah, there we go. Yes, he is. All right. Alexander, may I ask you a couple of words on how you're going to help us today with your team?
Yeah, sure. Well, my job is kind of easy. It's just to see what was done wrong, as it seems to me. Well, I'm basically a teacher. So it's up to me to notice if we are out of time, if anything wasn't according to plan, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of easy. That's
Fantastic.
it, simply and easily.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Alexander. Last but not least, I know, or probably some of you wonder, when is going to Walter mention actually the meeting theme for today? This is going to happen right now, because the meeting theme for today is as easy as that, the importance of toilet paper. And some of you already in lining up the meeting wondered, I'm very glad I see some teeth smiling actually at my screen. This is exactly why it should, the reaction I tried to get across. Why this happened? Some people ask me, Walter, what can you please explain? I will do so. As easy as that, my topic themes being a Toastmaster come up very randomly and very impulsive and very, what's the right word, spontaneously probably. I on purpose train that not to overthink, because I believe in the force and the power of the human people. And people come up with various ideas on whatever you present to them. And this is what I'm trying to do here as well. However, people said that toilet paper is a little bit too brief. Then I looked into my shelf behind me and saw my nice book from Oscar Wilde, The Importance of Being Earnest. There we go. So today the theme is the importance of toilet paper. So why I actually thought about it is, or it came into my mind that throughout the quarantine time, it has become to me very important in realizing of a lot of things which we are not taking for granted on a daily basis. Say we're using them and then we're not aware of how little we need of some basic stuff to actually keep us running or keep us happy. And in this common sense, I'm going to close my introduction and give you all ideas you have for your importance of toilet paper and whatever it means to you to have it throughout the meeting. Herewith, I finish my introduction and hand over to the grammarian to introduce yourself to us. Randall, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Walter. I am the grammarian of the day, and my responsibility, Toastmasters, visiting Toastmasters and guests, is to help you to improve your use of English language. I will take note of any good uses of the language and I will try my best to notice any misuses of the language so that we can all improve our use of the language speaking English. The word of the day I will share with you today, it is inspired by Walter's theme of the day. I struggled very hard not to find, I struggled. I pushed away about 80% of the words that popped up into my head immediately. And I came up with what I think is a good one, which I will now share. So the word of the day is bliss, which actually not everyone knows what it means. Supreme happiness, utter joy, or contentment. And my first example of the use of the word bliss, and also bliss is a noun. You'll sometimes come across blissful as an adjective. The feeling after relieving yourself in the water closet can be pure bliss. Or my favorite use, ignorance is bliss. What sheer bliss not to have to look, not to clock watch anymore. And Oya decided that marital bliss needn't mean weight gain. So bliss, basically, just think of happiness, think of extreme happiness. And you're encouraged to use this word throughout the meeting, and I will take note of people who have used it. And over to you now, Walter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Grammarian, Randall, and we're, I think, on a very, very good track of all being out of time. Thank you very much, Asim, for making a good job. I only see red. Heading over straight away and surpassing, I think we don't have the educational speaker for today, if I'm not mistaken. We have this role sometimes to make sure that people are educated in whatever Toastmaster has still to offer. Today we skip that and straight away would come over to our first speaker. Today we have Sergei Semyonov, who is from St. Petersburg, but originally from a bit further away. Sergei, whenever you're ready, I am happy to hand over the microphone to you. You're done?
Yes. Yes.
There we go. Perfect.
Walter, I would like to, as a first of all, I would like to correct you a little bit. My last name is Simonov.
Simonov.
Yes.
All right.
So, and my first name spelling very unusual way. So I will tell you why it is. So I will talk today. The title of my speech today is naming. I would like to talk about the object or fact and the name which we assign, which we connect with this. So look at this. It's a pen. It's a pen for people who speak English. They understand that it's a pen. But people who speak Russian, they thinking, okay, it's not a pen, it's ruchka. But when I said ruchka, it may be the sign, these things, or it may be little hand. So the sign and the object or fact or something else, there are no mutual one-to-one correspondence between sign and this. It's a sign, it may be letters, it may be other signs, it may be any words or something else. So I would like to tell this, and I will call the sign associated with the object or with the fact as a names. It's just, you know, my explanation and introduction to this. So in fact, the reason why, the example of this is my first name. If you look at the screen and see my name Sergey, it's quite easy for Russians because it's Sergey. But I had in my life 4 different spelling of my name, 4 different spelling in English, but in Russian it's only 1. So I would like to include some citation from American philosopher and mathematician. His name is Charles Peirce. Charles Peirce, actually, it's not his thought, it's based from Ludwig Dodgson, who is also known as Lewis Carroll. So, but he just expressed it in a philosophical way. So he said, a sign is some A to denote fact of object B for some interpreting thought C. So the name and object is not only 2 connection. There exists a thought, might be an interpretation of the connection also. So now I continue in my next topic of this. You know, my background is mathematics. In mathematics, coding, which is associate sign and object, is very popular. And it's called theory of coding. There exists a special system of coding which called Huffman coding. Huffman coding or construction of Huffman, it's very simple. The most frequently object or fact coding with a short sign. The less frequently, longer sign. It's minimize our communication. Sometimes, you know, Morse code. Everyone knows there exists a Morse code, but not everyone uses this in their life. So I can tell you that Morse code based on Huffman construction, Huffman rules. Even at the Morse time, this construction was not invented. So the most frequent letter in English is E. E is only 1 dot, or it's called dits in English. But the less frequently, like Q or Z, it's 4 different signs. It's obviously. So now I go into the next part of this, what is naming and what I want to tell. We often learning new languages. We often learning new something else. Other languages, it's not only words, it's not only grammar, it's a culture. So based on my idea about Huffman construction, the most frequency letters must be shorter. The less frequency must be longer. You understand this? So I would like to include some example. You know, people who English speaker, native English speaker, they have a nightmare. Nightmare in Russian. I can tell you what is this. Здравствуйте. I know everyone understands it's. I never met anybody in English who speaks it correctly, but for Russian it's natural. Okay, so this is maybe in English. It's quite easy. Hello. That's simple. Maybe it's connected with the culture and we did not use it very frequently, but it's easy for us. I can involve another ideas about the languages and so on. The worst, I know I learned a little bit German and I was surprised. One of the words. You know, in Russian, it's called извините. In English, it's called sorry. I'm sorry, very easy. In German, entschuldigen Sie mir. Wow. So I was surprised. The thing was, surprise for me in English. The word was very long. Understand. Understand, I was surprised how rude this word and how long it is. I did not make more attention, more examples in English, but I would like to mention one of the longest words in the world, maybe the longest one. Okay, if anybody knows, we'll repeat. If no, it will be interesting experience. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Sergey Simonov.
Simonov, yes.
Simonov, all right. That's very good. Thank you very, very much for your speech on culture and especially on wording. I can very much relate to that because my name, I think, barely in any place was spelled correctly. And no one is calling me by the name I was born, not even my parents. So I very much can relate to that. I very much thank you for also some personal topics, because when it comes to cultures, it sometimes becomes very subjective, and this is what we very much like, especially in this multicultural audience which we have. I'm going to use the opportunity to move along the agenda and introduce our next speaker. Today, the second speaker is Irina Nosova. Nosova or Nosova?
Nosova.
That depends on the country where you are.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Irina, go ahead, wherever you are. To all the people who don't know you yet, you've been a almost lifelong member of the St. Petersburg Toastmaster Club, because by the time I joined, you've been already there. You are an English teacher for Russian-speaking people, and that's why I'm always happy to have you with us. The time is yours.
Thank you very much. Okay. Right, everyone. So actually, this is my first topic on the second level. And just to be precise, the task for today's speech was to choose a topic that lends itself to expression through movement and gestures, deliver a speech containing practiced and refined nonverbal communication. So, and as you might understand, this is a little bit challenging in the online format because I am limited to this little box here with my movements and gestures. Anyway, I will try to do so. And if I have enough time by the end of my speech, I will also teach you some things that I learned in China when I lived there, and that helped me a lot. And the topic that I chose eventually is the importance of body language. It somehow correlates with the topic, the importance of toilet paper, because this is also the thing, the message of my speech is basically that body language is very important, and we can easily see it when we speak with people on the phone, right? We sometimes lack gestures, emotions, facial expressions, and so on. Technically speaking, body language is not a language. And I can tell you about three different things, three main differences that I see in this. First of all, there's a difference in scale. If we take the English language, there's over 1 million of words in the English language. And if we think about facial expressions, for example, how many are there? A dozen, a few dozens, right? Just they're very limited. Then there's difference in creativity. We can invent new words in languages. But can we invent a new facial expression? I don't think so. If you try it right here, right now, I don't think you'll succeed inventing a new facial expression. And finally, there's difference in structure. Language is a two-level structure. This is what Sergey was talking about in the previous speech, right? Sounds do not have any meaning. P doesn't have any meaning, the letter P. I doesn't have any meaning, letter I. N, the same. But if you put them together, pin or nip, they immediately have the meaning. It doesn't happen the same way with facial expressions. Facial expressions and gestures always have a meaning, right? They can be different from culture to culture. That's a different thing. But anyway, they always have a meaning. So the main idea that I'm trying to convey here is that body language, we'll call it language anyway, because this is still a way to communicate with people. Body language helps us to correctly interpret messages, right? We can correctly interpret and see sarcasm, right? Because the person might be saying one thing, but their body language might say the opposite. Oh yeah, you're such a great dancer. Right. So basically we're saying something positive, but our body language and our intonation, so some extra linguistic means, tell the opposite, right? We can interpret a lie. We can see that the person is lying by the way they behave, by the way they move. The same with mocking, the same with attitude. We can see how people treat us. If they say, yes, I'm fine, with their arms crossed, we know that they're not fine, and we can read the room, we can read this attitude. And well, if you can't do these things, if you can't interpret such messages, there's a big chance that your communication will fail. So if you think about the words literally, without looking at the person, without paying attention to their body language, your communication will not be successful. Some facts, some interesting facts about body language in general, about the body language, the gestures, facial expressions, poses, anything here. We learn to interpret these things as soon as we turn 3. So children of the age of 3 already can read body language. It's incredible. Just think about it. Their vocabulary is very limited yet, but they can understand if a grown-up is lying to them. This is incredible. And I can totally vouch for this fact because I have a 3-year-old nephew, and he is the person that nobody can trick, you know. Then another thing is we have other spheres of our life where signs and gestures are very important. One of them is the sign language. For some people, or a layer of people, it's the only way to communicate, using signs, and they devise a very elaborate system of signals that can help them be successful in their communication. If we think about professional gestures, due to some professional reasons, they have to, again, devise an elaborate system of signals. For example, crane workers, right? They can't see what's happening there, down on the construction site, so they have to use some professional gestures. Traffic wardens, because of the noise and because of the lack of possibility to talk to people. Then orchestra conductors, right? They also use the set of gestures. Umpires, football referees, and so on. There is also animal language. We all know that birds communicate through dances. Animals also devise their system. It's also limited. It's not like human language, but it's still quite useful for them. All right, and before I finish up, I'd like to share this thing with you. I learned it when I lived in China, and I found it very helpful in my professional life when I was teaching children. This is numbers that you can show using just one hand. So with the numbers from 1 to 5, it's very easy. You just show whatever many fingers you mean. Then but what about numbers from 6 to 10? Usually it's impossible just using one hand. Yes, Randall, thank you very much. This is exactly what I'm doing. And you can actually repeat after me. Maybe this will also help you. This is a 6, right? This is how you show 6 in China. Then this is a 7. This is a 7. Then 8. This is an 8. This is a 9. 9. And this is a 10. Sometimes they show it like this, but well, this is cheating because you should only use one hand, right? It's very easy. Okay, so my main message, body language is a bliss. Use it.
Fantastic, Irina. Thank you very, very much for this interactive session of the importance of body language, and what a refreshing talk. by understanding also the colorful importance of the interpretation of science, because you made me laugh just, I think, 5 seconds before finishing off your speech, because this is the sign in Germany for heavy binge drinking. So, you know, it depends. By the reaction, we can tell some people are familiar with that one as well. Very good. Thank you very much. We'll hand over to our next speaker for today, which is number 3. And dear ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Geeta Sharma. Geeta, I'm not sure if I pronounced it correctly, Geeta or Geeta, but she'll correct me if I'm wrong. What I've learned about the excitement of introducing you, Geeta, is because she turned out to be from Kathmandu in Nepal, and already the discussion before the official or public part has begun already flourished into a touristy attraction, why we should go and visit the fantastic nature and culture of Nepal. That's why I'm more than excited to introduce you to speaker number 3 of today, Geeta Sharma from Kathmandu. Geeta.
Thank you very much. I know I can make it. This sentence has been instilled by my mentor again and again in me. And my mentor is none other than our mother or my mother. I feel blessed to be her daughter. I'm blessed. I find it amazing, and I thank to God that I could be her daughter in this lifetime. She is a strong woman. I tell you here a story which you might find interesting. But when I heard about this incident, or a story for me, and it might be a story for you as well, when I heard for the first time from her, that I got completely emotional and my eyes were teary. I came to learn that she was married at the age of 6.5 years old, because she at that time belonged to a family. We have a caste system in Nepal, and there are some very weakness points of caste system in Nepalese society. So she belonged to a higher caste. Her parents were from a higher caste, and she was forced to for a marriage at the age of 6.5. And at that time, our father was 21 years old. Now, we can imagine the life she has experienced. But that experience, or the things that she has to go through, has made her a very strong, a wise, a rather a calmer woman. She could do anything. She is a wonder woman for us. She could give birth to 5 of us. We are 5 children. She could raise, she could give us a wonderful upbringing. And at a time when it arrived, she could take control of everything. Like she managed the finances of our home. Our father was a very honest person, but he was very naive, not as smart as our mother. I must say that. So she could upbring, she could raise her children. She could do anything. She could attend our school meetings. She could maintain the social status. And when a time arrived, we lost our father. At that time, our finances were really not very good. And everyone was thinking that this is a very toughest time for us. But without wasting her time, she could control everything. And at a point, she rather became a real estate agent. She was on buying a new house for us, and then she found our respective partners as well, because at that time we were more into arranged marriages. So me and then my sister and my brothers, she found out our respective partners. She arranged that quite lavish marriage, lavish wedding parties, and she has done so many things in her life. Now, moving further. So this was all about my childhood and how we progressed in our life. But now, when it was a time for us to go into our professional life, she always educated. She always wanted the daughters to be an independent women, to be an educated women. She did not, she never thought, or she never allowed us to depend on anyone else, because she could not go to school because of her early life marriage. So she missed those opportunities, and she always reserved best for us. She sent us to the best schools, not only us, to our brothers as well, but especially talking about women, because in Nepalese society, women are still lagging behind. And that was the time there were very few women into tourism industry of Nepal. But she encouraged us unbelievably. Rather, she pushed us into this industry to take the challenge, to especially go to the mountains and lead the group, to do, and upon her suggestion, upon her continuous encouragement, and even she provided us finance as well. So we established our company, and since then, since 90s, I, along with my sister, have been running our adventure and cultural tour company here in Nepal. And I find Nepal is as beautiful as my mother. Nepal is as exotic, because here in Nepal, whenever a visitor comes, he or she immediately falls in love with the beauty of this country, with the rustic, with the organic nature of this country. So I'm blessed that I could come into this industry, and I started my work, though it was at a very early, even in my age, when we started working. Since then, we have been able to welcome thousands of guests on our trips here in Nepal. So whenever we are in some kinds of difficulties, even in our professional life, in our personal life, or in our social life, she is always here to extend her help. Now she is at her 60, but I would like to tell you that she shares an extraordinary bond with her grandchildren. When I gave birth, my daughter is 14 years old, and when I gave birth to her, it was very difficult time for me. Either I could continue my work, or I could stay at my home, because my husband is an engineer who stays most of the time on the working side. So it was totally impossible for me to go to work. But again, she came and she told me that you don't need to be worried. I'll take care of your daughter. And also the same happened with my sister. Her son was also raised by her. My daughter is also raised by her. And during this time of coronavirus situation, we have been staying home, and my husband is still working. We have a national interest project here in Nepal, that is a hydropower project, and the government has decided to continue that project. So my husband, as a geologist, or as a project manager, he could not leave his work and come to home. So he's still staying there, and here is my mother, who is staying along with me, taking care of everything, my children, my garden, and even my kitchen. So I'm blessed that I have her support all throughout my life until now. My daughter at this time, which is a quite difficult time, all schools, everything is closed here, and our children sometimes they sometimes might feel frustrated, because they are figuring out what's going on, and our mother even takes some psychological classes for them as well. She's always here to take care of not only of her children, but of her grandchildren as well. So just to share some beautiful bondings, not only along with her family, but she is also a very favorite person in our social strata as well. My friends love her very much whenever they visit me or her, and they always demand that my mother should meet them. So sometimes I tell them that, do you like my mother or do you like the cuisines that she prepares for you and offers you? She pampers you in a way. So this is the magic. Once I remember my daughter told me how your parents could raise 5 children and you are just raising one child, and sometimes you are so difficult. And then I told her all this incident, and she is amazed to see, to learn all these stories. So this is all about my mentor, my support, my strength. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Geeta. What an emotional and personal story you have shared to us. Thank you very much for the insight into your family and the feelings gathered around it. It is always refreshing, especially at this time where we can feel how it feels to be at home for a while as well. Nevertheless, I need to raise this question to probably all speakers. Did you manage to have a look to the timer Asim during your speeches?
Yeah, we did.
We did.
No.
Yes, Geeta. I probably need to make this more clear at the very beginning, that we should always look out for the timer, due to the fact that we have technically the opportunity to click it to your main screen so you can see whatever the timer is showing you, whatever the color you're on track. And I always recommend on this note as well to try to finish on yellow, because psychologically there's going to be more time to finish off, just as a recommendation. However, I'm going to hand over now to the timer Asim to give us the specific figures, and we'll be surprised what is the result. And here it comes. Asim, you want to comment that briefly?
Sure, yeah, thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Yeah, apologies, I did not have an audible signal that I could give when the speakers ran out of time, but just to recap, first speaker, Sergey, in the green zone with 5 minutes, 54 seconds. Irina just creeping into the red zone, 7 minutes, 5 seconds. I allowed her a few seconds at the start to explain her objectives. And Geeta way into the red zone with a 9-minute speech there. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
All right, thank you very much. Just want to pick up on that again. Yes, this is unfortunately the case, and I think we have it now in a second or third time that speakers are out of time. We need to try to make this a bit more. I think I need to be very thankful actually to the audience, because a lot of people tried to give the sign that you probably should stop now. However, this is how it is, and we're going to continue on that. Usually I would ask the evaluator for initiating the vote. I do not see the necessity of doing so due to the fact that the timing does not allow us to do that. So I will straight away thank every one of you speakers for your glorious speeches. As often, it is a bliss to listen to a variety of topics for today. Guys, we need to do that now when someone says bliss, okay? But realizing the attention span, it is time for a break. And I'm gonna see you here in 10 minutes. So what we have now is my clock is saying 14:47. Please double check whatever your clock is saying. And I'm gonna see you back in 10 minutes to continue for the second part. Stay tuned and see you soon.
Walter?
Yes, I am here. I'm still here, yeah.
I would recommend to vote for the first and second speaker and make a competition between them, because we have only 5 seconds exceed for Irina.
Yeah. So say it again, do you want to make the vote for?
First and the second speaker.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a poll. I can just post a link, you know.
Yeah, do it. And then I'm going to initiate it in after 10 minutes when everyone's going to be back to make it happen.
Okay.
But it's always the case. I don't know how to make it happen. I'm off the red zone as well. But maybe we should use a horn or something for yellow amberish.
My apologies for going over time.
Well, no problem. That's you're just not being considered in the vote. And that's a shame.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I did not say that. You can use sometimes when people are not tech savvy, you can use the timer and click right-hand side on its screen and stick it so that it
Yeah,
is
I should
all.
have done that.
Yeah, but yeah. I use my own watch every time so that I have it in front of me. But it's all right. Next time.
Yeah. That's a smart idea. I will now do that because I go overtime many times. I know that.
No, that's okay. That's okay. As long as you don't pay the production and advertisements time, as long as you don't work on TV, every second is going to cost you a lot. Oh, that's good. I mean, that's right. I just sometimes try to replicate the situation, especially in online times. Everyone has got his living room, kitchen, or whatever.
Yeah.
Try to not be too reliable on techniques. That's why I always have my watch, which is physical, which I would use offline as well, right? Technology, pop up, WhatsApp message or something. I've got my camera actually now. I'm looking at it a little bit further away from the laptop. So yeah, but it's all right. How did you find us, Geeta? Have you been with us last time as well?
Yes, I was at last meeting as well, and I participated in one of the table topics.
All right. Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. So you have.
And I found you on. Actually, I found you on Google because when we started online meetings after we went into lockdown 2 months ago, then I thought that meetings from now all over the world, as we have Toastmasters almost everywhere in the world, Toastmasters Club. So I thought that this is the opportunity to participate in virtual meetings. So I sent you an email, and you have been very kind and welcoming to allow me to attend your meeting. Thank you so much. I appreciate this opportunity to attend it and then participated in table topics. Now I'm doing one of the speech. This means a lot for me, and it's a great learning experience.
Absolutely. It's always fantastic to have more and more people coming from all over the world to join us in St. Petersburg. And that probably just happens because you don't see the weather here, because physically you'd never come.
Yes.
I see some new faces. The lady in blue, but I somehow don't have a name showing up. I don't know why. The lady in blue. Oh, Holly Mashburn. When I click on you, now it appears. Oh, right. Yeah. Hi, Holly. How are you doing? Hi. Where are you visiting us from?
I am visiting from Moscow Free Speakers in Moscow.
Oh, all right.
Currently, I'm on vacation in the United States.
Oh, so fantastic! Whereabouts in the States?
East Coast, North Carolina.
Nice. I think, is it warm now, or is it a screenshot?
It's not too bad. It's 80 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's what, 20 Celsius?
Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Fantastic. So are you planning to go back to Moscow? Did I understand it correctly?
Yes, I'm hoping to get a flight back the end of July.
Okay.
Yeah.
When the restrictions are a bit lower. I think so far you have in Russia only internal flights. I don't know. I'm not very up to date with that.
I left last Saturday, so I've been home a week.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So the Aeroflot has flights going on about once a week to New York.
Cool. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So what are you up to in Moscow?
I'm a teacher at a private school, an Anglo-American school.
Well, that's good. So you switched totally online as well, or you managed?
We did till the end of April. May 1st was our last day teaching, and we're out for the summer until we start back in August. And so we did our last 6 weeks online.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, because I heard or I read all around the world a lot of educational institutions were forced into online, although they've not been the most open-minded to make this step. But yeah, I think now there is no opportunity of restricting this anymore. Okay, great. Thank you. Great having you here. How did you find about us?
Thanks. Well, I was speaking with Olga Yatsuk a few minutes ago, and she's like, I'm in this meeting. I'm like, oh. Send me the link. Plus, I've been invited. I think Randall's visited us, and yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, we were invited.
Yeah, fantastic. So it's just interesting to see how much communication reaches out a variety of people.
Networking, man. Networking.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, true.
Now you can visit club anywhere.
Is that, Olga?
Yeah, now you can visit club anywhere. It's a lot of fun, always.
Yes, that's true.
Yes, we Toastmasters are fortunate enough that we can participate in these virtual meetings, even this difficult time.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
I think Olga wanted to invite somebody to the meeting, didn't you, Olga?
I didn't. Yeah, we are having a meeting this Monday at 7:30 Moscow time. And I would like to invite you just as a guest, or we have roles to fill. So I think I will post a link now, and yeah, if you're interested, let us know.
Yeah, give it a go. Put it in. This is your local Moscow Toastmasters club, is that correct?
Yeah.
7:30 Moscow time on Monday.
Okay.
Brilliant.
So is it English speaking or Russian speaking or bilingual?
It's the same one you visited before, Geeta. You visited us last week.
Okay, so you are from okay, yes. I visited the Moscow Free Speakers Club. Yes.
That's us.
Thank you very much that you could recognize me. Actually, I have already participated in so many clubs meetings.
Good.
As we are in lockdown, and during this time I'm supposed to be in the mountains actually, and all the trips are closed, so we don't have anything to do. Just we are inside, staying inside our homes. So I thought that this is the opportunity that I can participate in more and more clubs. It will, because I'm sure that it will help me for my professional and personal growth.
Day I was supposed to fly to Wales. Woohoo.
Oh, for holiday reason or?
Both. I booked a short course to help me prepare for an exam, the ultimate English exam. And well, of course, all exams are now either postponed or cancelled. So, and then after this short preparation course, I would take this exam there in Wales, and then I would just travel for a week. But this is not happening, at least not now. Perhaps later.
Everything later. All right, dear ladies and gentlemen, considering later has become now after a short 10-minute break. And now we're going to kick off the second half of our Toastmasters 115th meeting in St. Petersburg. Glad to see Valeria being back. And Antonia is back. Yes, I think the majority of the guys are back on board, which is fantastic. I find it I just need to say that, I find it very interesting today that people choosing their backgrounds make me a little bit crazy in my head, because when Geeta is talking about Kathmandu, I'm always looking at Azim's picture, imagining that he's in Kathmandu as well, sitting next to Geeta. Considering the fact that Antonia has introduced herself being from London, Portsmouth, and your picture is showing Abu Dhabi, probably Burj Al Arab. Antonia?
Everybody thinks it's Dubai, but it's not. It's been a Qatar in Portsmouth.
Oh, it's Qatar. Yeah.
And, our tower was there first.
That's true, but it's definitely not the cucumber from London,
No.
which I would have expected to see from Azim.
Yeah, no, it's not that. No.
All right, so sorry for interrupting you. Coming back to our meeting, I would like to pay attention to the recommendation of President Nastya, who suggested that we're going to carry on with the voting still for the speakers after we've spoken out a warning of the timing bit, and consider Irina as the second speaker along with Sergei, the first speaker, and actually to initiate the vote. Now, as everyone's back on board, I would please ask Valeria to place the voting link in the chat. And now all of you, you will see this link. Oh, voted is already? Is already voted? Did I miss something? I did, yeah, there we go. So for everyone who also, like me, did not get it, Valeria did post a link already for the best speaker voting. It is at 2:58 within the chat. And once we click it, what I will do now as well, we all should make the vote happy and have a result. I'm gonna do it quickly because I missed it. Okay. All right, please. Voted. All right, I assume, but I need to double check. If every one of you has voted, just please show a thumbs up with your hand into the camera so I can just see who is still voting. Okay, Olga did as well, Holly did as well, Alexander has it, yeah, we got that. Sergey, Simona, yeah, Roman, can I have a thumbs up? Did you vote, Roman? Yes, you did. Nastya, Alena, Valeria, Geeta checked out, okay. Natalia Filipova, I don't know yet. And Shinzaku Kitano,
I am here.
Yeah, can we just say you voted, thumbs up, so that you made your vote? Cool. And Shinzaku Kitano, maybe you can give us one of those reactions so we can see that you have voted, and I can carry on making sure everyone has.
Yeah, I'm also here, Walter.
Yeah, got you. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Having sorted this out, thank you very much for your understanding on that, and bear in mind to try to look and pin the timer throughout the meetings. We continue to our fantastic sessions, which are all of my favorites. They become interactive, spontaneous, and very, very funny. I'm going to introduce the session of table topics and hand over to Alena Kim. Whenever you're ready, Alena. Perfect, all yours.
Yep, I'm ready. Okay. Hello, dear fellow Toastmasters. Hi, dear guests. Actually, I'm a guest myself, but whatever. Thank you, Walter, for such an interesting topic. I would say that your topic, the importance of toilet paper, is a really, really serious problem nowadays, or no? Yes, absolutely. So when I found out the topic of today's meeting, the first thought I had was, such an interesting theme. Had there ever been anything similar in the history of mankind that the importance of toilet paper was such a strong wish? So today I want to suggest you thinking about some interesting facts about this important stuff nowadays. Let me share my screen. Oops, I can share my screen. Walter, could you do something with this problem?
I'm trying to give you the rights. I'm not sure I can. Now you should be co-host, and you should see a green button in front of your screen to share your screen.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for whoever did that.
Okay, thank you. So wait a minute, please. Oh, so it's such a difficult system. Well,
all right, Aliona, maybe you need to take your second to sort it out technically. I'm going to use the time to remind everyone that I've missed to please tell you to provide your personal feedback to the speakers within the chat. So please make sure you send your message and your personal feedback to the speaker, and you send it not to everyone, but to the speaker. You give your feedback. Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay.
Now, Aliona, how is it looking?
Yeah, it's good. Now
Cool.
it's working good. Okay, thank you,
Back to
Walter,
you.
for the rules. Yeah. So, guys, do you know some interesting facts about toilet paper? Okay, today, every one of you have a great opportunity to think or to guess, or maybe you know these facts about this stuff. Any volunteers? So, could you please write your name in our chat just to see your names? Guys, I don't see your hands. Okay, I will pick up myself. If no one volunteers here, I will pick up myself. So, the first volunteer will be Natalia Filipova, our dear guest. Hello, Natalia, are you here?
Hello, everybody. I'm here, and I try to Google right now about interesting facts about toilet paper.
Oh, no, it's needless, my dear. It's needless. Come on.
Okay, because I know nothing about some interesting facts, and what can I do?
No, Natalia, it's needless. You will have a question. So the first question is, when and in what country did toilet paper originate? How do you think?
I think it's America, maybe, or it's a paper, and maybe it can be wood country with a lot of wood, and I don't know. Maybe it's maybe America.
America. Interesting. Why do you think so?
Oh, it's just a random answer.
Okay. Do you remember in which country the paper originate?
No, I don't remember, please. I don't understand. You asked me right now about originating country, and I answered about America.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see later. Okay, I got you, Natalia. Thank you very much. Later, we'll see the right answer. Thank you, Natalia.
Right answer, really?
No. I mean, later, we will know the right answers. Okay, thank you, Natalia. So, who wanna be the next one? Maybe our pretty egg counter, Valeria. Valeria, welcome to our stage. The stage is yours. So, the next question is about the shortage. A major toilet paper shortage happened in 1970s, USA. How did this shortage come to be? How do you think?
Maybe they were crying a lot. And they used a lot of toilet paper, or maybe they had diarrhea. Maybe, you know, like bad food, and shit happens.
Very popular answer, I think. But if you think a little bit more, maybe imagine.
Yeah, maybe it was problem with the wood, and they cannot produce enough amount of toilet paper. But I like the idea that it was, you know, superior diarrhea in USA that time.
Okay. Okay, such an interesting point of view. Okay, maybe someone else wanna try yourself about this shortage of toilet paper? Come on, guys.
I'm going to just intervene a little bit, maybe to make sure the idea of the table topic session is understood correctly. Whatever the table topic master is presenting, the speaker, if voluntarily or chosen, has 2 minutes to make up a story or answer the question as a kind of a brief, quick speech for two minutes maximum. Just to bear this in mind, it's not a wrong or right approach here, okay? So having said that, Aliona, you'll take over and make sure that you see what people are writing in the chat, because there are a lot of volunteer names popping up.
Oh.
Back to you.
Walter, maybe you could help me. I think some technical problems. I think I couldn't find my chat. Please.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Well, let's see our next volunteer, right, Walter? Could you please call me the name?
Yeah, no problem. Guys, type in now.
Okay.
Damir it is.
Okay, welcome to our stage, Damir. So your question is about why was using toilet paper a risky proposition before the 1930s? How do you think?
First of all, thank you very much, everyone, for having me. I really like the design of today's table topic session. And the question is really hard ones. Why was using toilet paper is a risky proposition before 1930s?
Just imagine.
I'm trying to remember what happened and what caused that years. And the only thing that comes to my mind is world wars. 1930s, it was the exact time between the two world wars, and which most in the case affected the production of not only paper, but all the other spheres of the life of the people. That is why maybe there was a shortage of the wooden products, and especially the paper which is made from the wood, and considering the fact that the main manufacturer of the wooden products might be Russia and some European countries like Germany and the northern ones, maybe that was also effect of the broken communication system because of the wars, and before it get into the track again, people try to use less paper. It's better to write on the paper, not to use them in the toilet, right?
Oh, such an
why.
interesting point of view. Really interesting. Okay, let's see later. Thank you, Damir. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, Walter, who are the next volunteer?
All right, I'm gonna turn the wheel. 3, 2, 1. Make your hands ready to type in the chat. Off you go. Caleb Young it is.
Okay, welcome, Caleb, to our stage. And your question is, why does toilet paper break apart so quickly? How do you think? Hello, Caleb?
Please unmute yourself.
I muted myself. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I was on mute. Okay, so why does toilet paper break apart so quickly?
Yes.
As an engineer myself, I think it's related to the chemistry compound of how paper is made and how everything is packed together in terms for the hydrogen and oxygen molecules. However, I think that the reason why the toilet paper breaks apart quickly is because it is practical when you are using it, for cleaning purposes or using it in a toilet. If it's softer, it's easier for cleaning, basically. When you're in the toilet, after doing a big business, if it's hard, it won't serve its purpose. But if it's softer and if it breaks apart, you can use it for cleaning after using the toilet. So therefore, I think is why it breaks apart so quickly. But as a business point of view, I think it's not so marketable to have a product that breaks apart quickly. Yes, thank you. So the time. Table-topping master.
Okay, I got you, Khaled. Thank you for your answer. Really funny answer. Okay, Walter, do we have any volunteers?
Yes, we've got and pick Sergey now as a volunteer because
Sergey.
5 times he raised his hands and now.
Okay, Sergey, the stage is yours. So your question is about one interesting thing. There's a yearly toilet paper contest which asks entrants to create something using only toilet paper, tape, glue, needle, or thread. How do you think? What can it be?
Wow, it's so complicated. And you know, this Toastmaster speakers speaking, it's converted to just a game, что, где, когда, or something.
Just some fun facts.
Yes, and you know, instead of direct, I think something, but instead of this, I will tell you something. First of all, I'm sure that toilet paper was invented not in the Muslim countries. You know this. In Muslim countries, I was surprised coming there are no toilet paper at all. So I understand it was invented not in Muslim countries. So the selection is much less, and Damir knows about this and why. So the next one, I would like to tell you to share some short, funny story about toilet paper. You know, in 90s, the very beginning of 1990s, was perestroika in Soviet Union. It was Soviet Union. And in this time, everything broke, disappeared from the store, nothing. You can come there and see only salt and shelf. But in one store, I see they selling toilet paper. Toilet paper was absolutely deficit in this time. And the lady bought a lot of them, several boxes of toilet paper. And her husband, good sense of humor, he said, she's so funny. We have nothing to eat, but she bought so many toilet paper. It was very laughing. Okay, so as concerned these topics.
Just imagine, toilet paper, tape, glue, needle, or thread. What can it be?
I think tape. I guess so. Yes, and in fact, you know, it's interesting, yes.
Okay, thank you, Sergey, for your such a funny story and your answer. So Walter, do we have any other volunteers?
Yeah, we have probably 150 of them.
Oh my gosh.
More or less.
Okay.
Yeah, of course we have. So, okay, I'm going to turn my video in a second and we're going to take Anastasia and next Antonia. Off you go, Nastya.
Okay, Nastya, welcome to our stage. So, here's your question. Nastya, please unmute yourself.
Sure. In 2009, notable Japanese horror author Koji Suzuki, best known for writing The Ring, released his new work that was printed on a single roll of toilet paper. What was it and what about? Thank you for this great and interesting question, and definitely none of us probably has ever known these facts. However, I guess that many of us have already seen the US dollars printed on the toilet paper, which could be gifted as a souvenir. So maybe that started after this fact in 2009, after this book was first published. In my opinion, that it's a nice trick. So all of us have this necessity, and all of us buy the toilet paper. So why not to buy a fancy one, and why not to buy even a book? That could be a nice souvenir, first of all. And then, you know, there is such a stereotype that men sometimes read some magazines while spending the time in the bathroom. So probably that was a book specified for men, which they may take and spend a nice time while the women are somewhere away of the house because they have no possibility to go to the bathroom. Thank you, Alena.
Thank you, Anastasia. Thank you for your wonderful answer. That was really interesting. Thank you. So I have several questions. Do we have some more time?
Yes, we're going to give the next one go
Okay.
to Antonia.
Antonia, Hi.
Hello, Antonia.
Hello, Antonia. So your question will about military operation Desert Storm in US. Have you heard about this military operation before?
I've heard about the military operation Desert Storm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good start. Because I think most of the questions you have asked today, Anyana, we really don't know the answers, which is, of course, the challenge. But the important thing here in Toastmasters is to be creative and to think what the answer could be. So I've been thinking all the way through what I would have answered had you asked me any of those questions. So this one, Desert Storm, well, obviously they were in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
I know it wasn't for flying white paper to show that they were giving up, so it wasn't that. Maybe it was to test wind testing the wind direction. Perhaps it could be something like that. Although one would hope, do you know what I mean? Some sort of device where they would have toilet paper flying in the wind to test the wind direction. Although one would hope they would have something a bit more sophisticated than that. Although who knows, with military, they're often short of resources. I don't know, but I will tell you one thing while I'm thinking about that, is that I've been traveling around clubs all around the world, and I often ask them about lockdown and how it's affecting their country. And one thing I did discover that's interesting to me about toilet paper was that there is no shortage of toilet paper in Thailand because they don't use it. They use, at least not at home, they use a bidet sprayer.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
So, yes. So we are actually causing all this environmental pollution by pouring all this toilet paper into our toilets. And perhaps we should look towards the East and learn from the East. Perhaps wisdom has always come from the East, and maybe we should try doing something different for a change.
Okay. Thank you, Antonia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very interesting point of view. Thank you. And intriguing answers. So, Walter, if we have several minutes or any volunteer, please, could you turn on your mic?
Yeah. All good. Yeah. We should give it another last go, try to make it a bit faster, but I would love to have another spontaneous one. Who is spontaneous and quick?
Mm-hmm.
Geeta, but you need to promise me something. That you look at a seam. All right, off you go.
Yeah. Okay, here you go, Geeta. So you have a very interesting question. The first commercials weren't allowed to call it toilet paper. How do you think? What was the first name of this stuff?
This is a very creative question as well, I must say that. Actually, in our countries, people don't use it much. Especially we have more people living in the mountain areas, and this toilet paper is not used at all. Only the few people living in the cities or in the capital of Nepal, Kathmandu, because we have traveled to other countries. So we have learned now that there is something called toilet paper, and now we should use it. And when because during my last visit, all the people who are coming from the foreign trips, they come here and then they suggest other people, their Nepalese fellow that there is a thing called toilet paper that is very good and we should use it. But now looking at this present scenario, or when the COVID-19 started, people going very mad over buying toilet paper. We could see the videos all over the internet that how people were so obsessed with buying more and more toilet paper. Now we think that yes, it is good that the Nepalese people don't use it, and we have some other ways of cleaning instead of toilet paper. So maybe the first name of this stuff could be some silk paper, or it is as soft as silk, or maybe the name of was it cleaning paper, but not the toilet paper, because I don't think when it was first it came into production? Was it produced as a toilet paper, or there were some other versions of it earlier and later it became a toilet paper? So I have this answer. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Geeta.
Fantastic.
Fantastic and very quick answer, I think. Thank you, guys. Thank you, all of you. I think you are really intriguing with the right answers, right? I will send a link with the right answers in our chat. So thank you very much for your interesting ideas, and stay safe and never ever have a shortage in such an important stuff in your life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aliona. Thank you very much for your table topic session this time. I have to say to all participants, thank you very much for this impromptu speeches style. It is always fascinating to see what comes out in people's mind, especially with such tricky questions. And thank you very much on picking up on these perspectives, what toilet paper means in other countries. And considering the fact that even the Queen needs to use it probably, it makes one aware that even the basic things can be considered from different angles and perspectives. So thank you very much on that. I'm going to hand over now to Asim, who is the timer for today, to have a quick report. Fantastic. Asim, are you sure you're not German?
I'm not German, no.
Okay. All right.
But
okay.
yeah, so
Go
all
ahead.
our table topic, thank you. So all our table topic speakers had a target of speaking between 1 and 2 minutes. Natalia, 40 seconds. Valeria, 43 seconds. Damir, 1 minute, 27 seconds. Caleb, 1 minute, 6 seconds. Sergey, 1 minute, 52 seconds. So making very good use of the time you had available. Anastasia, 1 minute, 22 seconds. Antonia, 2 minutes, 5 seconds. And finally, Geeta, within the allotted time, 1 minute and 44 seconds. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, dear timer. Thank you very much, Asim. I would like our vote counter to place, is that correct, Valeria? You're ready to go? To place the link within the chat so all of you guys can click it and make your vote for the best table topic speaker of today. So once Valeria is ready, we will see the link in the chat. For all who cannot find the chat, on your screen on the lower part, you have next to security participants a button which is called chat. Once you click this button, your chat appears. Valeria has placed it. Let's give ourselves 10 seconds or so to click it and make your votes for the table topic speaker of today. Okay, let's see. Do you guys can access this? Because it doesn't pop up for me. Empty, that's correct. No names. Maybe we should give a little bit time for the system to...
It does work, just refresh.
Yeah, I'll just refresh. Yeah, we were too fast probably for the cloud. Okay, yeah, I can see that. System works now. Guys, double check. So the cloud has make it appear now. All right. Cool. Who needs time? Only those who needs time. Please show me that you need time by raising your hand. Okay. Thank you very much. I consider this as voted. And we'll use the opportunity with handing over to our general evaluator for now, whenever he's ready, Mr. Alexander Chernov. Oh, now I see
Mr. Alexander Chernov. Well, thank you.
All yours.
For introduction. Okay, thank you. So the process is kind of easy. We'll hear 3 evaluations, so 1 for each speech. Let me name our evaluators. First one will be Roman Malashin. Second one will be Anastasia Lear, and third one Olga Yatsuk. So they will evaluate the speeches that were given before, and will tell us what's kind of weak moments, what were good moments, and so forth and so on. But remember, listen carefully, because it is also a contest, kinda, for best evaluator. So please listen, and remember that ignorance is no bliss, so don't take it personally, because everything is subjective and we're here to get better. So yeah, you might hear something that sounds kind of harsh, but don't take it personally. It's all for betterment of us. So please, I want to welcome our first evaluator, Roman Malashin, who will evaluate the speech of our first speech by Sergey, that is naming. So please, Roman, come forth. I welcome you here.
Thank you very much, Alexandro. Can you hear me? Yeah, thank you very much. Can please timer give a voice? Okay, Asin, I will just pin you. Thank you very much. Great. So, Sergey, first of all, I would like to congratulate you with completing your speech. And I'm very thankful that you raised such an important topic about the structure of the language, about the importance of the redundance of the language. It was very interesting. And I myself was a computer scientist, so I know what you were talking about. And it was really interesting for me to hear your speech and to listen to it. I would like to mention first strong points that I found in your speech. First point, I like your voice, your vocal variety. I like that you make pauses, and this makes your speech very, very, very sensitive. So I think many people feel like they believe you when you speak because you speak gently, and you are not in a hurry, as I felt when you spoke. In the first part of your speech, you used pen, and I think it was very good point to demonstrate what you're talking about, and it was also very good. What I think is also interesting. So if you talk about your speech itself, you started with definition at the time. I understand that you deal with mathematics. So for audience, I would say if someone starts with definitions, so probably he is a mathematician. So as Sergey says, he is. And structure of your speech was, correct me if I am wrong, but I think the structure was like this. You started with the definition, then you talk about Huffman coding, then you transit to the conclusion about language, and not a conclusion, but topic about language. I think that many people will still find that you were talking about complex things, though I think the topic is appeal to them, but I felt like probably they hear something like infinitely differentiable Riemannian manifolds or something like this that they don't understand when we talk. So going back to what you were talking about, so I believe that if you make your speech a little bit more redundant, so you will repeat some things maybe 2 times in a different way, it will be easier to get your point, to understand the message that you deliver. I also found that sometimes you use language with some extra is to be word. So for example, you said it seems like it is convert to the game. So I believe you wanted to say something different, but when you talked about it, so people maybe may felt a little bit discomfort when you use improperly the language. And if you have an opportunity to prepare, I recommend to try to avoid misusage. So finally, because I'm lack of time, I need to wrap up. And yes, I'm wrap up. So congratulations again for giving your speech. I really enjoyed it, and I really want to listen to your next speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Roman. And well, even though we're out of time, well, it's a tradition, but I will speak about it later. It's a Russian tradition of speech. Even Germans do this, so yeah, don't laugh. So the second evaluator will be Anastasia Leah. She'll be evaluating a speech of importance of body language of Irene. So please, Anastasia, come here.
Here I am. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you, dear Irina, for delivering such a great speech. First of all, when I get to know that you've taken this project based on the body language, I was a bit surprised because in my personal opinion, we have different gestures and movements and possibilities to deliver the speech in offline and online meetings. And they may be not the same. However, you did really great job and you managed to show us the importance of body language and why is it important for the speaker and why, on the other hand, it's important for the listener to basically understand what is the speech about. Not only words are meaningful. And you made it with a great choice of examples, starting from your personal examples of your nephew, and then moving to the examples of crane workers and conductors. So those who are not supposed to say anything and they need to use another channel for communication. However, I didn't manage to define which gestures you moved on purpose and which you moved as a part of your nature. As you're a teacher and probably you're supposed to explain a lot of things on the daily basis, maybe some gestures are just natural to you. Obviously, when you stood like this, that was made on the purpose and that made us really understand your idea which you were trying to support with this jest. But once you made like this, and I have no clue whether it was made on purpose or accidentally. So I want to manage the main gestures which you used. That was the hands moving like this as an explanation, or just one hand. And then when you need to mention something important, that was this gest used. And I want to say that you started good, but when closer to the end, you even smiled before this part of your Chinese experience, because you already knew we are going to love it. And thank you for sharing this story. Many of us didn't know these facts, and that made the audience really to understand you. You not only grabbed the attention, but you gave us some takeaway. And thank you for that. That's what we love in your speeches, definitely. And that was strongly related to us, to your experience, and to the purpose of this project. The only my recommendation would be me as a listener and watcher, if it is possible, I would recommend you to move a bit further so I could see more parts of your hands. That is just my personal idea. And the second thing, but that's not just related to you, but many of us, we always have notes to read. And that just smashes the impression. So try to avoid using notes as much as possible. In general, thank you so much, dear Irina.
Oh yeah, thank you. And I'd welcome the third evaluator, that is Olga Yatsuk. She will evaluate the speech of Geeta Sharma, a mentor, my strength. So, well, come over.
Mentor. Mentor is someone who provides guidance and support, empowers their mentee, shares his or her wisdom. The most important mentors in our lives are, of course, our parents. And Geeta, what a bliss you have for having such a wonderful mentor as your mother. With the beginning of your speech, you swept us over with your energy, your passion. So you went a little bit over time, but we didn't even notice that because you provided us so much information about your mother. And again, you're so passionate about it that it didn't feel like a drag. We actually felt like we were sitting here next to you and your mother and talking to you. That's wonderful. So thank you for that and for your wonderful speech. To make your speech even more powerful, I would have suggested you to make it as a story. So the major part of your speech was mentioning some facts about your mother. And if you had a story with the introduction of hero, like your mother when she starts her journey as a married as a 16-year-old, all the repercussions that she faces, and slowly building it up to a culmination, to her ultimate success, because the success of each mentor is ultimately the success of the mentees of her children. That, I think, would have made it even more powerful. And my second piece of advice for you to be introduce more poses. You know, vocal variety is very tricky and it's really difficult to take it all at once. So I suggest to start at poses, which would allow you to stress out the most important part of your speeches, the parts that you want your listener to pay attention to. And also, poses would give us more time to digest the information. Your mother married at the age of 16. Your father was not much older than that. I mean, you really need time to make these all facts sink through. So these are my suggestions for your following speeches. And now I congratulate you on this amazing speech and keep up doing that. Thank you.
Yeah, I should. Well,
all right. Okay, thank you very much to all the evaluators right now for this beautiful evaluation round. I see Asim is already ready, more or less. Yes, then I'd like to have Asim for a brief introduction of the timer report.
Yeah, so our speech evaluators had the objective to deliver their feedback within 3 minutes, plus the 30 seconds of grace that we usually add on the end. Roman was 4 minutes and 6 seconds, Anastasia 3 minutes and 2 seconds, and Olga also with 3 minutes and 2 seconds. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Mr. Timer. Asim, I would suggest that we skip the 2 seconds for the sake of having the vote done right now. Herewith, I would like to introduce you to Valeria, who will provide us with the link in the chat, and we can vote for the best evaluator for today. Okay, thank you very much, Valeria. All of you give yourselves probably 5 seconds of refreshing the shoulders so the cloud has the time to synchronize itself, and we go and vote for the best evaluator of today. Okay. Yeah, mine works, so should yours probably. Off we go. All right. 2 options only, that's correct, because Roman was not in time, especially with considering 5 to X seconds of friendly time. We cannot consider him. Yeah, thank you very much. See. Done, done, done. We'll wait 5 seconds more so that everyone has made the decision. And never forget, it's always important to make the right decision when you go voting. Okay, I think everyone has done it. Maybe when Valeria can give me a private result, I will understand that we're good to go. Okay. Now, I'm going to continue with a... Okay, yeah, sure. We need some more time. Okay, we will need some more time.
Sorry, it's my computer. It froze. I had to restart.
Ah, okay. So are we waiting for you?
I opened it again.
Okay, what we are going to do is you're restarting your computer. We're going to carry on with the agenda. And when we will reach the part, I'm going to just ask to provide me the result. And then we're going to be fine anyway, not waiting for this right now. Okay, I would love to continue with our program and have the fabulous grammarian step up and provide us a little bit about our grammar usage today. Randall, please let me know from where
I'm
are
ready.
you joining, from Antarctic or Arctic.
It's a bit chilly, but it's sunny here.
It's chilly. All right. Thank you very much. Time's yours.
Okay, first of all, let's talk about the good side. So we had 7 uses of our word of the day. Walter and Geeta used it twice. Very impressive. I want to note some good uses I heard today of use of English and speech. Irina said linguistic means, which I thought was very nice. And she said spheres of our life, which I thought was very picturesque. Geeta said, my eyes were teary. I thought that was very expressive. She is a Wonder Woman to us. That's a nice phrase. We could use that more often in our club, talking about our lady members. Nepal is as beautiful as my mother. That was very nice. And I think that made Walter really want to hop on a plane immediately. One thing I noticed very positive today is Walter didn't swear yet, not once. And he said, everyone is back on board. Now, I'm going to lead to this, where I found some issues for improvement. It's relating to the use of singular and plural. And when Walter said, everyone is back on board, I wondered, is that correct? Is it everyone is or everyone are? And it's correct. Everyone is back on board. Galiona said, it's needless, which I thought was a nice phrase. How did this come to be? Which is a very nice expression. Caleb said, after doing a big business, which I thought was a very colorful way to describe something tastefully without getting in trouble. That was very nice. Alexander disquoted me and he said, ignorance is no bliss. And I thought that was actually very profound, and I like that, because when we learn a language, especially a native language, we actually speak in phrases. So it's drummed into my brain, ignorance is bliss. And I've used that all my life. But now I thought, yes, ignorance is no bliss. That's what I actually think. And he also said, Roman come forth, which I thought was very beautiful. And finally, Olga said, all the repercussions she faces, which I thought was a nice expression. Now, on to our areas for improvement. Valeria said the S word today when she said, shit happens. Okay, so that was a very colorful expression, poignant, sort of related to our topic of the day. And I noticed Walter said 9 times gonna. And this is something I really hate, being a picky English speaker. I hate when people say, I wanna, I gonna. We're not in the hood. Okay, we're in a public meeting. This is a business meeting. Going to, but not gonna. Never say gonna. And Aliona said, I wanna. So Aliona wanna and Walter gonna. Please don't say wanna, please don't say gonna. Now, the one notable thing I found, it's very difficult now, and I'm impressed because all of you, almost all of you are non-native English speakers. And I am a native English speaker, so it's a bit easier for me, but it's difficult to connect singular and plural uses of verbs and nouns. And I don't have time to actually give you any of my examples now. Maybe I'll follow up with a note, but that's what I found. So anyway, we focus on the good stuff today. Thanks very much, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Randall from Chile, as being such a perfect grammarian, and I promise trying that I am going to speak more correctly once so that people can understand me properly better, right? Okay, I'm gonna... Oh. Okay, I'm going to introduce now the A counter Valeria to make sure she'll have the opportunity to give us the report on what can we improve on. Thank you, Valeria, all yours.
Hello again. So, as the best counter singer of this club, I can ask my friends to come on the stage of fillers words with myself, and it will be Roman, Anastasia, and Geeta. All four of us are the winners of today meeting. We are using the most bigger amount of and you know, you're using it like you're hiding them, and it's cool. I mean, sometimes I was thinking, is it a word? Is it and? Is it just, you know, the repetition? It was awesome, actually. And today I added and because to the filler words, because sometimes people say it like because or and they were giving time to think again about their speeches, I guess. But still, it was kind of funny, but still, no. And what I wanted to say about this whole situation, as a person who is living about who is living with fillers words all my life, and so a lot of videos about how to short them. And usually people are saying just speak slowly, or just give your time to think about it and not make sounds about it. Just, you know, I will say it again, it's a bullshit, and nothing will help you. Just practice your speech more and more, like 10 times, 1,000 times, until you will remember all of them, and maybe it will help. I don't have any conclusion for filler words, just practice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Valeria. Thank you very much, our A counter for today. Thank you very much for the recommendation, which is connected to the theme of the day, bull. I'm going to hand over now to Irina Nosova, who is the quizmaster of today, to introduce and guide us through the next session. Irina, whenever you're ready.
Yes, thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. I actually have just a couple of questions for you guys. So, fingers on your keyboards, please. The first question, I have one question about each speaker. So the first question is, what's the first speaker Sergei's last name? Well, I would like to try, yes, okay, so yeah, you were much faster than I thought. So I wanted to ask Sergei not to answer this question, obviously. Then the next question is about my speech. Children of what age can already read body language? Yeah, that's true, fantastic. 3 is the answer. Then about the third speaker, where does Geeta, the third speaker, come from? Yep. Lots of correct answers. I'm very happy that you were listening closely. Then this is the question exclusively for our guests. So please, members of St. Petersburg Toastmasters Club, do not answer this one. What's the name of the president of our club? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, fantastic. You were listening, you were paying attention. Very good. Now, the next one is, this is kind of connected with our TT. Where does TP come from? So what was the right answer about the origin? The country. Is this the answer, Lemir? Moscow Business Club. Is this the TP come from? Korea, China. Okay, China, I think, is the right answer here. Just, you know, shallow Googling showed the answer. Then another one, name one synonym for our word of the day. Synonym, not the word itself. Yeah, exactly. Joy, happiness, all of these things can be considered synonyms. And the last one, very difficult, very tricky. That's why I put it to the end. What is the name of the tower behind Antonia's back? And Antonia, please do not answer this one. Okay. All right, where is it then? Yeah, that's right. I hope that was the right spelling among the answers there. Thank you very much. That's all from me.
Clapping and unmuting. Thank you very much, Irina, for the quizzes of today. They're always refreshing, and I think we could consider next time getting up a little bit and standing while having those conversations, because they're always so refreshing. Thank you very much, guys, for participating. I'm always astonished how fast people can type in the chat, and I'm thinking my computer's just too slow or something by how fast these results come in. We're going to come to our next session for today, which is the General Evaluators Report, which will be delivered by our beloved Mr. Chernov. Whenever you're ready, Alex, time's yours.
Well, yeah. Thank you, everyone, as usual. But let's start with the bad news, as usual. Because every time, I myself included, we are over time. And today was the greatest day, I think, of being overtime. Mr. Asim, I think, seems like an executioner because almost everyone was in the red zone. I feel sorry for you. I think you've seen so much red that you're not gonna like tomatoes anymore, because only one person was in time of our speeches. Only the first speech was green. Second one was red, third one was red, evaluator one was in the red zone, second one was in the red zone, third one was in the red zone, timer was in the red zone. Oh, sorry. You yourself were in the red zone, or am I tripping? Okay, our counter was in the red zone, Quizmaster was in the red zone. So raise your hands, who wasn't? Who survived today? I don't know, because usually it's me, only person who survived. But yeah, maybe Alena. But it seemed kind of close. Yeah, there is a grace time, but I'm not sure that we in the Russian St. Petersburg Club used it at any time. It's always seemed like 1 second overboard and you're out. Yeah, Anastasia knows something. Yeah, we have strict rules. We live in Russia. The climate is harsh and people are strict. So we had no grace time ever. So, and Antonia, yes, that's where I'm going to. Because if everyone was in the red zone by just a margin of 1 or 2, 3, 4 seconds, as we've seen today, maybe we should think about softening the rules. Sugar the pill, you know? No, Valeria, you are most user. Do you really think that we should not make it easier? No? Okay, let's go. Let's go with it. Everyone will be in the red zone as usual until we will force everyone to be in the green. Antonia? Yeah, that's what I think we should discuss internally in the club. Anastasia, I think it's up to you, as usual, President, the harshest one. Yes, and I kind of support the idea of being harsh because, as it seems to me, myself personally, only through training can we become better. And being in time is a training in and out of itself. So by being easier on the rules, removing the crutches, will force us to become better. So yes. Yes, Asim, thank you for being a timer today, because it was another point. We didn't fill all the roles in time. And you helped us, yes. Even though you only had to use red one, you could use it prematurely, you know, just make everyone, even before the meeting, in the red zone, you wouldn't miss. So I think that's it. We should discuss the rules. I think we should make it harsher as it was before. But that was the main problem, because every meeting is kind of like this. We just pick the survivors of the speeches and we speak to them. But, well, we'll discuss it internally. So thank you, Aisim, and thank you everyone for being with us today, and thank you for surviving the harsh trials of the Russian speaking. I hope your ears survived and we were in time. Oh, look, I'm red.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Alexander Chernov, for the brilliant evaluation. And yes, maybe our club is not that best with timing. I'm not sure if this is related to the fact that we're from Russia or the background of the Soviet Union and the communism red color, which maybe does not signal so much danger, right? I don't know, I can only guess on that, but maybe one assumption would be just to turn our yellow ember into red or violet so that our club can be more active on focusing that time is over very soon. Okay, thank you very much. Still, we need to point these points out, and we're coming to the next session, which is the nomination of the speakers, of the evaluators, and of the table topic masters for today. Now, okay. I need some drums. Okay, what we're gonna do now, hold on, we make it a little bit different. We're gonna make it a little bit different. What I want you guys to do now is, I want you to unmute all of you so that we have the clapping and the applause which are deserved to everyone in real life to make it a bit more real. And I'm not sure I have the papers with the names on it, so I'm gonna just speak them out loud because the results are with me. And now I need some drum space for the best speaker of today. No, I can't hear you. Am I the only one? Now it's better. And the best speaker for today is Irina Nosova. Oh, that's so real, right? Okay, I need to get myself some Dolby Surround speakers. The next one, what we have on our list is, let's go with the best evaluator for today. Let's go for the best evaluator for today. I need some drums and I need some jingles, whatever you have it ready, some glasses. And the best evaluator for today is Anastasia Lear. A speech. No. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, let's see who is the best table topic speaker as of today. We have a little surprise because it is, or are, Anastasia and Damir. Congratulations, both of you. Woo! Woo! Fantastic. Thank you very much, guys, for being such a great audience, attendance, speaker, grammarian, listener, and human from wherever you are. I'm going to finish it off and hand over to our president of the club.
Thank you, Walter. So first of all, I want to say thank you especially to Walter, as he was great at leading this meeting with such a provocative title. And I didn't know what to expect from that first. And I want to say also special thanks to Alona, who has chosen the same topic. And we have the whole meeting to look as one general great pack of toilet paper. That's what everyone wants to have. So as I promised in the very beginning, we had a funny meeting, isn't it? And all of us enjoyed it. And so we used to have more members and guests participating, like closer to the 30 people. Today we have had only 19 people, and probably that means that this virus is not that dangerous anymore, and more people manage to spend a lovely time outside, not inside with their computers looking at their fellow members. Definitely all of you are welcomed to our next meeting, which will happen in 2 weeks on 13th of June. I guess that will be online anyway. It starts at 2 p.m. Moscow time. There will be a separate registration link. So you're always welcome even to take the roles. As you may see, we are gladly to share the free spots we have. And I'm not going to discuss any timing here, since I am the Lenin, Stalin, and Putin of this club currently. I know the regulation, and we do what we do only because the fact that our members need to focus more on the time. So half time, we are very strict. We say no to any time limits over 5 seconds. The second part of our meetings, we say yes and vote for everything and give all the grants to each and everyone. That's what we do here. We are very logical. So follow us and keep in touch with us. Thank you. In case anyone wants to share your thoughts right now, it's your time now. If not, see you again in 2 weeks and stay healthy.
Right, the meeting is officially over, but you can still be tuned in to see me seeing you if you like this.